Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're rediving into a story that perfectly illustrates how one small act of kindness can create the most incredible ripple effect. Get ready to feel all the good vibes, because this one is truly heartwarming. Picture this. The town of Willow Creek, rain pouring down, sidewalks turning into muddy rivers. Inside Maggie's diner, a cozy little spot that smells wonderfully of coffee, we meet Lila Carter. She's a young waitress, wiping down tables, her uniform faded, her shoes cracked, and her eyes holding the quiet exhaustion of someone struggling to make ends meet. It was almost closing time, a typical dreary evening, when the door creaked open. In walked a man, soaking wet, clothes torn, face unshaven, eyes hollow with hunger. He hesitated, looking ashamed. But Lila, with a tired yet genuine smile, said, "Come in, sir. You look like you could use something warm." He stepped inside, dripping rain everywhere, and confessed, I don't have any money. I just wanted to smell the coffee again." Lila's heart ached. She knew that kind of hunger, not just for food, but for a little bit of human connection and kindness. Without a second thought, she poured him a steaming mug of coffee and placed a warm plate of soup and bread in front of him. When he protested, she simply smiled and said, "Please, it's on me." He looked at her, his eyes glistening. "Why would you do that?" And Lila's reply was so simple, so profound, "Because I know what it feels like to be invisible." She walked away before her emotions got the better of her, leaving him to savor every bite. When he finished, he whispered a heartfelt "Thank you, miss. I'll never know what this means," and then disappeared back into the rainy night. Now, you might think that's where the story ends, a quiet act of charity on a rainy night. But oh no, this is just the beginning of something truly special. The next morning, Lila arrived at the diner just like any other day. The coffee machine hummed, the quiet morning routine. She wasn't expecting anything out of the ordinary. But then, a sleek black car pulled up outside. A tall man in a sharp gray suit stepped out, impeccably dressed, full of quiet confidence. He entered the diner, scanning the room until his eyes met hers. A slow smile spread across his face. "Good morning, Miss Carter," he said warmly. "Do you remember me?" Lila was confused. I don't think so, sir." He chuckled softly. "You gave me coffee and soup last night. I was sitting right there, by the window." Lila's jaw dropped. This distinguished man was the same person from last night. But how? He extended his hand, introducing himself as Ethan Walsh, and then came the revelation that absolutely floored her. "I'm the owner of this cafe chain. I had been visiting incognito, trying to understand how people treated others when they thought no one important was watching." He continued, explaining that he'd genuinely lost everything that night. His wallet, his phone, his car had broken down. He wanted to experience what it felt like to be completely vulnerable, to see if anyone would truly help. "You did," he told her, his voice full of genuine appreciation. Without hesitation, tears welled up in Lila's eyes. "I just did what anyone would do," she mumbled. But Ethan gently countered, "No, most wouldn't. You didn't just give food, you gave dignity." Wow, right? That's powerful stuff. Ethan then took a moment to look around Maggie's diner, noticing the faded paint, the squeaky chairs, the worn-out feel of the place, and the hard-working staff. "You all work hard," he commented, "too hard for what you earn." He turned to Lila again, asking how long she'd been there. 3 years, she replied quietly, adding that she was trying to save for nursing school. But life keeps getting in the way. Ethan's smile was thoughtful. Not anymore. And that, my friends, is when things really started to change. That very afternoon, Ethan called a meeting with the entire staff. Everyone was whispering, thinking they were in trouble. But instead, Ethan made an announcement that would change Lila's life forever. As of today, he declared Maggie's diner will undergo a full renovation. Every employee will receive higher wages and benefits. And one more thing, Lila Carter will be promoted to manager. The room erupted in gasps. Lila stood frozen, her hand over her mouth, completely overwhelmed. "I can't accept that," she stammered. "I just did what anyone with a heart would do." Ethan just smiled. "Then it's about time people with hearts get rewarded for it. You know, sometimes goodness truly does get its due." Weeks flew by. The diner transformed completely. New lights, fresh paint, a warm, inviting glow. Lila, now in a crisp new uniform with her name embroidered on it, managed the place with such pride and grace. And the best part? With Ethan quietly paying her tuition, she even started classes part-time, finally pursuing her dream of becoming a nurse. One beautiful evening, as the sunset painted the town in gold, Ethan stopped by for coffee. He watched Lila serving customers, her laughter and kindness flowing effortlessly. When she brought him his cup, he looked at her and said something truly moving. You know, Lila, at night when you gave me that meal, I wasn't just testing kindness. I was testing hope. I'd lost mine. You gave it back to me. Lila smiled through tears. Did you give me mine, Mr. Walsh? He raised his cup in a quiet toast. 2 second chances and good hearts. What an incredible story, right? It just goes to show that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness ripple farther than we can ever imagine. A simple cup of coffee, a warm smile, or a kind word can restore faith, change lives, and remind us all that compassion never, ever goes unnoticed. Because even when no one is watching, goodness shines the brightest. Thank you so much for watching and sharing this journey with us. If this story touched your heart, please give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe for more inspiring content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. We love hearing from you. So leave a comment below and tell us about a time a small act of kindness made a big difference in your life or someone else's. See you next time.